Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a makeup tutorial on this look. I actually wore this look in my Ulta 21 Days of Beauty video, the most recent one that I posted on my channel, and I had a request to recreate this look, so of course I had to do it for you guys. I will have all the products that I used today listed down in the description box below, but I hope you enjoy this video. So I've already got all of my skincare on, including my sunscreen, which is the Bondi Sands SPF 50 face sunscreen, and if that review isn't already up, I will have it up soon. And I'm also going to throw on some of this AOA Studio Skin Balm Rescue. This is the Peppermint one. I'm a big fan of their lip mask as well, but this is really nice for on the go because you don't have to use your finger to apply it. And I'm going to let that soak into the lips while I'm doing the rest of my makeup, which I'm actually going to start with brows today, and I'm going to be using this e.l.f. bite-sized brow in the colorway dark brown. And I've really enjoyed this ever since I picked it up not too long ago. In it, you get 2 wax products and you get 2 different colored powders. And I typically use the lighter powder in my brows, but sometimes I'll use the deeper powder as well. And I was actually really excited when this came out. And I know it's not like revolutionary, but I really appreciate the fact that it is a really small, compact situation. I was currently, well, at the time I was using a dark brown eyeshadow from a random giant palette, and now I don't have to take that with me anytime I'm traveling. But like I said, I'm going in with the lighter color and just lightly filling in my brows. I think they're like finally at a place where I like the shape of them just normally, and so I just, you know, kind of zhuzh them up a little bit, fill it up a little bit. And I've also really been enjoying that NYX Lift and Snatch pencil or a brow pen. That one's a really good one. For this palette, I mean, it's like $3 or $4 and you get a variety in there. I think it's worth it. All right, and I'm just brushing it through with my spoolie here. All right, now I'm just gonna carve out my brows and then we will move on to the base. So the first thing I'm gonna be using on the base is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter in the shade 5.5 Tan. And ever since I used my Sephora gift card that I got from Allie Glines to pick this up, I have been absolutely in love. This really does something for the skin. I personally prefer to use it as a primer, although it looks beautiful by itself, as you will see, and it is beautiful mixed in with foundations, especially foundations that are more on the matte side, and you don't necessarily want to lose that quality entirely, but you want to just give it a little bit of a glow. Oh, this just, oh. Right, and I'm going to use my fingers to blend that into my skin here. And you can see there's a little bit of coverage to it. To be honest, guys, like, with the way that this was hyped up, I really didn't think it was going to be all that, but this has got to be a product that's definitely surprised me. And I actually do have the Maybelline dupe for this, and I have been testing it out just to give it a true shot to see if it really compares. And I have some thoughts. But yeah, that'll be in a video. All right, so you can already see that this skin is more evened out than it was before I added the Hollywood Flawless Filter. And it also just gives this really nice, beautiful glow without being glittery or anything like that. For foundation, I'm actually mixing 2. One is the L'Oreal Infallible Freshwear Foundation in the shade Toffee, and the other is the Nars Soft Matte Complete Foundation in the shade Aruba. You want to make sure you shake up both of these. I'm just mixing them on the back of my hand right now. But I really enjoy both of these foundations alone. I just enjoy mixing them because, I mean, they're 2 of my favorite foundations, so why not? This is definitely the combo I'm going to be using on my wedding day. It's just so beautiful. And I'm getting it into my foundation brush. I'm working it into my brush. This is a foundation brush I got from Shein, which is actually pretty good. It's like a $2 brush. Now, part of the reason why I mix these in these specific shades is for the shade match. As much as I love both of these foundations, there isn't really a perfect shade match for me. And maybe I just need to stop being so damn picky, but I don't know. Now, just more about these foundations. first of all, you might even be shocked because I do have dry skin, so I prep the skin pretty heavily with moisture in mind. But I do like matte foundations or satin foundations because with using a lot of cream products, sometimes it makes things a little bit too emollient, a little bit too dewy. And, you know, I kind of like a balance. I like for the overall look to be somewhere between satin and dewy, just from my personal preferences. And that is how I choose to balance it. Also, just, you really can't beat the wear time of matte foundations, especially when you have dry skin like me and you're not really worried about your oils breaking things up. And next I'm going in with concealer, and I'm using a tried and true favorite but a newer shade to me, and that's the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Honey. I was using Butterscotch in the past, but I found that, I don't know, it's just a little bit too warm for me. So Honey's a little bit more neutral. It's a little bit closer. It's still not like my perfect ideal concealer shade, but it definitely works. And while I let that concealer sit so it can, you know, give me a little bit more coverage and also just dry down a bit, I'm going to go in with my cream bronzer, and I'm using the Fenty Matchsticks in the shade Truffle. And guys, I'm almost out of it. This is it, twisted all the way up. I'm so sad, but oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like I'm happy, but I'm sad at the same time. Like, it's good to go through a product like this, but man. But this has definitely been a complete favorite, both in shade and also in the texture. And sorry, in the formula. The formula is what I mean there. It is a cream to powder formula. I'm sure so many of you already know, but this is honestly one of the more underrated products from Fenty Beauty. And I'm blending this out before I blend out my concealer, just to give my concealer even more time to dry down. Now, you can't necessarily do that with all concealers. This Too Faced concealer is a great concealer to do that with, but, like, you know, be careful. Know your concealer before you try that. And I'm using the same brush I used to apply my foundation. This is a trick that I got from Hindash. It just helps everything blend in beautifully. Taking a little bit more of that. I definitely have the trio of the matchsticks, and I like the highlighter and I like the concealer sticks, but I don't reach for them nearly as much as I reach for this one right here. All right. Now I'm going to use my MAC Conceal palette to just conceal around the mouth, color correct a little bit, and I'm going to be using a mixture of the top two shades here, which are NC40 and NW40. All right, and now we are ready to go ahead and blend out the concealer, and I'm gonna start first with my Real Techniques setting brush, and then we will go back with a sponge. And notice how I'm blending the inner corner very last. All right, now I'm taking this sponge, and this is my same Paw Paw blending sponge from Shop Mercier. These sponges are amazing and super affordable. I'm setting the concealer with the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, and I have fallen in love with this ever since it was introduced to me earlier this year. And you know, this is definitely an expensive product, but I've used it almost every day and I haven't even made a dent in months. So I feel good about this purchase. I don't think I'll have to be repurchasing it anytime soon, but definitely will when that time comes. And I think I might try the honey version when that time comes, just to see if I like it a little bit better on my skin. Now, I have noticed that I prefer this powder on my more heavier makeup days. I don't like this as much with my lighter coverage makeup. I will usually go for my e.l.f. Halo Glow for that, or a pressed powder instead. And for powder bronzer, I'm taking the Thrive Causemetics Sun Chaser Bronzer in the shade Paloma. And this is one of the shades from their shade expansion in their bronzer. And I love this bronzer because you can use it on bare skin, you can use it on top of full coverage foundation, and it just looks beautiful and blends beautifully every time. For blush, I'm going to go into this Patrick Ta Double Take Powder and Cream Blush Palette. And this is a super like brownie pink type of blush. beautiful on my skin tone. Now for a highlight, in that look I originally was wearing the Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlight, which I love, but it's not available, so I wanted to use something that actually is. So I am going to take the Kosas Velvet Melon Color in Light Cream. This is the high intensity version, but I'm using the highlight out of this, not the blush. And I'm using my fingers to take it the highest points of the face. So I really enjoy the highlight side of this palette, but there's just something about the blush that I just don't really like. I think that because of like how emollient it is, I don't really trust it as a blush. I don't mind it as a highlight. I think it's beautiful as a cream highlight, but I just don't really like the blush there. I'll swatch it for you. You know, shade wise, it is a beautiful color, but it's so emollient. I don't like blending it on the skin. I haven't actually tried it on bare skin. I've just tried it on top of other makeup, so maybe it would look and feel better, you know, without any other makeup, but I don't know. I definitely won't be using the blush much, but I really enjoy the highlight, both on bare skin and on top of makeup. All right, I'm gonna gently throw some of the cream highlight up there. I'll set it with some powder highlight later, but I thought, why not? For the eyes, we're going to keep it really simple, and I'm going to go into the crease with the same powder bronzer I used on the face, this Thrive Causemetics Sun Chaser Bronzer in the shade Paloma. Now, guys, I have this bad habit, or at least I think I consider it a bad habit, of like switching eyes so soon. Do any of you guys do that whenever you're doing your eyeshadow? I just feel like I feel like I do it because it's my way of making things equal on both sides. But then I'll watch people who do entire eye looks on one eye and then go back and do the same thing on the other side. I don't know how they do it. I want to kind of like force myself to try it one day just to see. So comment down below. Do you switch eyes or do you do just one eye at a time? Now that I've got that blended out as the transition shade, I'm going to take my Hourglass Scattered Light Glitter Eyeshadow in the shade Smoke and take that on the lid. Yeah, I realize it's hard with nails, so using a brush. I do prefer using my hands with these, but this will work. And the only reason why it's hard to get in there with my fingers is because I just use so much of it. It's down in there. Now I'm going to darken up the crease just a little bit, going into my Makeup by Mario Master Mattes palette. And I'm going to take what shade? I'm going to mix these bottom to middle shades. All right, now it's time to wing it out with some liner, and for that I'm going to use the Essence Super Precise Eyeliner in the shade Black. It's long-lasting and waterproof. All right, now I'm going to go into my Modern Renaissance palette just to go for a really icy light highlight, and that is going to be Vermeer right here. Please don't feel like you need to pull out the Master Mattes palette. Please don't feel like you need to pull out this Modern Renaissance palette. Like, seriously, a dark brown shadow. A really like icy light highlighter shade, whether it's an actual highlight or an eyeshadow, it'll do the same thing. It'll do the trick. And I'm going to take this in the inner corners and also in the brow bone. I do still need to go back into this Master Mattes palette and those bottom two shades in the center just to hit the lower lash line. Just give me a little shadow down there. All right, and for mascara, I've got this MAC Magic Extension Mascara, and I did receive this in PR, and I love this mascara. It's a fiber mascara, and it is very dark, and it makes the lashes look super long, but it also gives them volume without being too clumpy, and I really enjoy it. I also like that the wand is on the smaller side. Like, I really enjoy the e.l.f. Big Mood mascara, but like the wand is so big, and my eyes are on the smaller side, I feel like, so you know, it can be a little tough. Oh yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and quickly curl my eyelashes with this e.l.f. Cosmetics lash curler, and then I'll add a couple coats of the MAC mascara. Alrighty, for lips, I got a little cute wombo combo for ya. I have the NYX Lip Color Pencil in the shade Nutmeg. This is one of my favorite, more like brown and nude liners. And the Fenty Beauty Cream Gloss Bombs in the shade Honey Waffles. Now this was definitely like a more daring choice. I remember when I was looking at it in the store, I was like, oh, do I want to get this one? I don't know if it'll look great on me. I'm so glad that I did. This shade just looks so beautiful with my skin. Definitely took some getting used to, but especially with a more bronze look like this, just And I did finish off my look with the Wet n Wild Natural Setting Spray. I'm actually out of that right now. I will be repurchasing it soon, but that is what I tossed on after I was finished with my makeup. And other than that, this is the completed look. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments of this look. I think this look is so beautiful. It's definitely very reminiscent of end of summer looks. But yeah, so like I said, let me know what you think about this look. Comment down how you feel about these products that I use, and also comment down any recommendations for me. Thank you so much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I do hope that you will stick around and subscribe and watch more of my videos, and I hope that you're having the greatest day. Bye.